points into gold and why everyone I know does it wrong. Alright, step 1, we're going to go to a random thing. Unfortunately, I'm praying that these people have a town that I can use to show off my example, but if not, we'll show off the golden. Maybe we'll go take the town, hopefully not, because I don't have to probably cut the video. But we're going to Cyrodiil. Why are we going to Cyrodiil? Many of you think we're going to go talk to the golden because I'm recording this on a Sunday, and I will tell you right now, the golden is always a terrible investment, except for one specific example, and that is if there's a monster set that you do not want to farm, then there you go. That's the example of when you use the golden. The golden is not some person who's going to be converting your alliance points to gold in some amazing way. In fact, it's pretty terrible. If you were playing during Mid-Year Mayhem, you would know that the rings and necklaces were selling at a ratio of 500 to 85. Now, ratio-wise, it's pretty horrible. That means that ratio-wise, you're only making 17% of your gold per alliance point. For every 100 alliance point, you're getting 17 gold. That is horrible. Horrible. And I don't know why it's not. Oh, I can't teleport up there because we are fighting there. That's alright. We will run to Bruma. Alright. So we're going to run to Bruma. This is one example of the 3 towns. Every set here in all of these 3 towns is a better investment than anything that the golden will ever offer you. Now again, unless you're looking for a monster set, which sure, some monster sets are terrible, then go ahead and get that monster set. But do not, obviously you can't resell that. That's just for you. Oh gosh. Sorry, it's still very early in the morning. That's embarrassing. I'll leave it in the video though, I won't cut it. Anywho, so you're going to be making a ratio of 17%. Now, I will tell you what I'm about to show you is a ratio of at minimum 70% of gold to alliance point, with the potential to be over. Those of you who watched my alliance point video actually watched me go over and make more gold per alliance point, and that was kind of because of luck. Now, on the way there, I should explain the 3 towns, one of which I'm heading to, which is Bruma, sell elite sets. Now, why is that relevant? It's relevant because of 2 reasons. 1, the sets can only be gained here, pretty much. And 2, these sets are harder to get because you have to take the town, so people usually are like, oh, I don't want to go take Bruma, you know, I'm just a little kid, I only have a PvE character. So they never want to do it. They always want to go stop at the golden with their alliance points that they gathered through, I don't know, mysterious means. And they never want to go take the towns or take the effort to go and convert these in. And that's a problem because this is where you can find your best ratios of gold. We're just going to pull out a random set, pull it up, and show you that doing this method will make you exponentially more money than anything else you could do with your alliance points. Alright, so the elite gear vendor is over at Bruma. They'll always be near one of the flags. And if you look at the specialized gear, so this is one of the sets that will sell for a lot of money. The one at the top. Leeching is also a pretty decent one. And some of these also have different values and such assigned to them. My recommendation would be in the current meta and what's being recommended by a lot of popular YouTubers. If you're going to Bruma specifically, each town will have their own. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Is that I would recommend Deadly Strike from Bruma. Now, if we look at Deadly Strike and we pulled it up on the webpage for ESO Xbox Sales History, you'll see that the cheapest pieces of this are selling for, on average, I'm looking at it right now on screen with you, is 11K. So that means that the shittiest pieces that you're going to pull, and I'll buy one, unfortunately all my guild traders are full. Let's see how much money we're going to make back. We just got a great sword. A great sword sells for between 20 to 60K. 20K is being the college listing price. The average price 61K, so we'll say 45K. We just spent 12K alliance points, 40 to 60K. we've gone over our ratio. You will never do that with the golden, ever. There's no RNG, there's no luck. You're just going to get a terrible item that unless you need it, it's not worth it. And honestly, what I would recommend to those people who are thinking, oh, I'll just buy this ring, maybe there's like a gold ring that you really want, just go look for that same gold ring in a golden vendor or a Deshaun trader. You'll find it there at a better ratio. You'll be making much more money putting 500k alliance points into this than you will ever putting it into anything else. So even if you got the worst items, right? Let's say you spent 500k alliance points. That's 500k divided by 12. That gives us 41. And then the cheapest items on the Xbox Sales History app are 10k. So let's say you got the worst item 10 times. That's 410k gold. That means that you're going to be making almost quadruple what anything from the golden vendor will be worth. Now this is just one set example, and unfortunately the sets that are used here will vary over time. For example, sometimes these sets will be used more in popularity, sometimes they'll fall out of popularity a little bit, and each town has a collection of them. Now, unfortunately with where we currently are and sucking at taking the other two towns for you in this video, I won't show you those directly, but I will put on screen other things that are worth looking at currently in this meta. Now, pretty much every set that you see listed that is bought at a vendor is going to be worth more than anything you will be buying anywhere else. Now, there's a couple other things that people will consider buying, and we're just going to throw those away immediately. Now, unless you're very lazy and you hate alliance points and you hate going to Cyrodiil, you can, in theory, just buy alliance point pots. That's not a terrible ratio. It's about 30%, sometimes upwards of 40%. I don't recommend it, obviously, because we are pushing 410 out of 500 as a ratio, which would bet you 82%. So we are pushing 82%, 82 gold per 100 alliance point. Much better, but if you're, I have a whole bunch of alliance points, I just want to sell stacks of alliance point pots, you can do that. No problem doing that. We'll go look at them. That's where we're headed next. But it still just is not the ratio that you want. You always need to think about what the ratio is between you and your investment. Now, if you're like me, you have 5 guild traders that you will keep constantly stocked, and that is a downside because say you're converting 500k, it's going to give you 41 items. You're going to really have to list 41 items at one time per 500k. Some of you may struggle to do that. You're going to only be able to sell your high value items. That is a bit of a downside, and if you're selling a Deshaun, you will be paying weekly dues. However, I would tell you to consider too is that this is how I keep my guild traders stocked. I may have a video on guild traders as a whole because I think it's really necessary thing to cover is most people invest in a trader but they don't know how to keep them filled. Alright, so here's where people go, and you can see all this garbage for alliance points you're never going to buy. Garbage. Here, okay, here, it's pretty decent. Okay, so if you're going to buy one, I would recommend, I think that the one that sold the most would probably be the stamina potions. And then I would recommend that you go around and you check to see what the common sell price is in Deshaun. Also, Dawn Prisms, they only sell for about 20k right now. I have no idea why. I would say because people fall into the trap of, oh, I'll buy this Dawn Prism and I'll just sell it for a nice easy 20k, just real quick. Sure, you will, and to be fair, that is a better ratio than the golden vendor because you're getting a 20% flat investment rate back. But at the end of the day, compared to what we just showed you, it's not worth it at all. So I'll keep it nice and short and sweet. If you have questions about other sets that come in and out, or the next set that's being used a lot for alliance points, I know I put on screen my favorites to purchase. But if you have questions, if you're watching this from a year from now, you're like, hey, what should I be putting on today? I will give you a nice little comment response where we can talk about what the most valuable set is in your day from your specific town that you're able to go to, because it is difficult. You know, if you're a DC character, it's going to be difficult for you to go all the way down to Cropsford, or if you're an elf, it's going to be difficult for you to go all the way up to Bruma, although they just did that. But if you have questions or anything, depending on when you're watching this video, you can always leave a comment below. Until next time, though, my friends, just know that I love you. Goodbye.